We are back here on Carolina Women. We are here with our favorite Iain at Custom Audio Video. When we walked in today, cheerful and broad-minded.
I walked out.
Yeah, you did. You're like, oh my gosh. But you were looking with another gentleman, you were looking all around the building, you're redoing landscaping. What's going on?
Yeah, we're not getting into the landscape business, that's for sure. You know, we're still an AV company. But for a long time, AV companies like us, integrators, have actually done lighting control. So with the advent of LEDs and all sorts of different fixtures that do different things, we're about to go into lighting design. So there's a bit more to it than just we can control this light, you know, ramp it up or ramp it down. So there's more to it. So my colleague and I were outside, we're looking at the outside of the building because we have sconces with traditional incandescent bulbs in them, or there might be some LEDs out there as well. And we're trying to figure out what we should do on the outside because we've had our landscaping, or in the process of having the landscaping redone. So we've had speakers out there before.
Yes. Yeah, I remember walking in.
Yeah. We will do speakers out there again, but we'll also do lighting not only on the front of the building to replace the sconces that are there, but also in the landscaping to highlight the trees or the bushes or whatever we end up with in there. And you know, that's been around for a long time, but the fixtures that are available now to do that, both outside and inside, are way more flexible than ever.
Well, it's really interesting that we're talking about this. I know the last time we were in the media room, and probably the coolest thing you and I talked about was the way that you actually had the lighting integrated into the room. And I mean, it could do all kinds of crazy stuff. And that was when you sort of introduced me anyway to the concept that you all would be doing more lighting and how much of an impact it had on the way that I viewed sort of the ambiance of the room that I was in, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, so the lights that you mentioned across in our theatre there, they're tunable white lights. So in other words, they're not blue or red or yellow, or, you know, when you say color lights, that's what people think of. These are still white lights, but what's called the color temperature of them changes as you ramp up the brightness and dim it down. Okay, so tell me that again. The color temperature changes as I ramp up or come down. And what does that mean? So it's called warm dim. So if the light's full on, it's what's called it's a cool light. It's very white and bright. I feel like I'm in an airport. Yeah. And that might be, let's say, if you were to think about your kitchen, that might be what you want when you're in cleanup mode,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
As you dim these particular fixtures, they change, as I say, it's called warm dim. So it goes from that really cool white light into a warmer sort of yellowish color. And that might be, let's say, if you're entertaining, you would have that kind of mood. So ambience is an important thing. We always, in an AV company, we think of, you know, music is the mood setter. But now it's music and lights. The lights are very,
it's an integration of both.
Yeah.
So what does that really mean from an architectural or a building or a construction point of view? Because for me as a designer, I think one of the most interesting, lighting is number one for me. I mean, if I can set a tone with light, that's where we go first to make selections and really set the mood. Yeah, so the process really starts very early, you know. Just like an architect designs all of the other aspects of a house, a lighting designer typically designs the lighting for the house. Maybe not the whole house, you know, guest bedrooms and things. Well, sure, exactly.
Be, you know, but certainly the main living areas. So they could incorporate the type of lights we just mentioned, the warm dim. They could incorporate ones that do color changing, red, yellow, blue, whatever. But also position the fixtures in certain locations to, for instance, highlight artwork. Yep. Maybe
wayfinding.
Stuff like that too.
Yeah, wayfinding I think is really important.
In our theatre across the hall, you know, we talked about the lights there, but there is actually a cabinet in there with glass doors
Yep.
and a wine rack underneath. We're about to do LED tape lighting in there to highlight that and come up with some different
Every
ways.
time, this is so much fun. Every time we come, we end up with takeaways, and I think the big takeaway for today that's really important is you're going to be integrating not just sound, but you're going to be integrating the lighting, and your lighting designer is going to be boy, he's going to be great for you all. It's always fun to see you. I appreciate your time, I really
Thanks.
do. We thank all of you for joining us here on Carolina Women. Please have a safe and healthy week. Bye-bye.